It's objection time. Let's fucking go. It's me, Buppy Park, where we're coming back to the wonderful world of the wacky, wonderful, emotional world of Ace Attorney. Because the Apollo Justice trilogy has come out. This is, if no one knows, this is Ace Attorney's 4, 5, and 6, which is get the continuation from the last trilogy. So yeah, I did stream the first 3 games on the PlayStation 4, the HD trilogy. Before a couple years back, maybe 2 years ago. I took up most of my summer and fall. At times though, I did take some breaks because I got busy with things and I couldn't stream all the time. But so maybe this will be the same. Maybe we'll take up most of my winter and spring. I have no idea. I'm already playing a lot of long games, so why not add 3 of them? Sure. Well, a lot of long games. I got Baldur's Gate 3 as well at the same time, so that's great. But yeah, this is the beginning of a new trilogy. We will play these until, well, yeah, until I finish them, obviously. Let's fucking go. Let's get started. This is all these guys. Look at them. Look at that guy. I've seen him before. What do I know about these 3 games? I know very little things. Phoenix is a hobo now? He's got a Papa hat. I think that's his daughter? Question mark? I don't know anything else. Yeah, these games have been out for a while. Sky is there. Emma Sky. She's right there. In the second episode there. You can just play these episodes however way you want, I guess. Obviously, we're going to start with episode 1. Can we, pressing L1 and R1 does go to the other ones. Let's just go past these real fast. What is this? Oh, warning, this museum could spoil, going away from that. I didn't look at anything. But yes, this is Apollo Justice. This is trilogy. I also know that people have joked that the Apollo Justice trilogy is a funny name because he's not the main focus of it a lot. He's got like 1 game and then a lot of other people's get focused on more. So from what I saw in the beginning there, it does seem like there may be 3 protagonists. I don't know how this goes. It's gonna get weird. I think this guy is our Edgeworth though. The guy in the blonde hair. So yeah, let's just get started. Fuck it. Also got options. I already messed with the options there. Set music background. Oh wow, look at all those. I'm not really looking at them because they may have spoilers. But yeah, let's start a new game. Ace Attorney, Apollo Justice. But you know, they added a museum to this entire thing. That's cool. Turnabout Trump. Oh no! What a terrible I know Trump is just a word. It does not mean that creature. But still, it's just got flashbang there for a second. So look at this art style though. What is this? Some guys playing cards. Is that Phoenix? Showdown time. Ooh, it's like 2 pairs. You lose. Oh, so mad. Uh-huh. Well, that was a thing. What happened there? I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him. Hard. Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should have come to that. Someone just fucking died and this person's like, yeah, well, time to be calmly calling the cops. April 20th, 9:37 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Wow, it's like we never left, huh? Panicked. I'm sweaty. I can't admit it. I'm nervous. Ah, good morning. Oh, hey, is that dude? Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight? Wound up, sir? No, I'm loose. I'm fine. Speaking of fine, this guy got the looks. Look at him. Glasses man. Well-kept suit. That's Chris. Oh yeah, his name's Christoph. I think we go against him, and he looks a lot different in the future and later in the series. That screeching noise. Is that your voice? I hope it's to be expected. Your first trial and it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine. I got up at 5 a.m. to do my cord to steel voice workout. I'm fine. Ah, that explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. I overdid it again. I don't know if I should just do raspy voice throughout this entire fucking trial. Because this motherfucker blew out his throat. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down. If you get my drift. Drift gotten, sir. I'm all over that drift. I'm all over that drift. What a line. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. We can't let this case fall through. Yes, I'm fine, sir. One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. I've been preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. We don't even know who the client is. Oh, classic. My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today's my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants me to help him out, of course. And so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way. Is it Phoenix? It looked like it was Phoenix in the... There he is. It's Phoenix. Phoenix, what happened to you? You good, dude? Yeah, should you come well dressed to court? Actually, everybody else doesn't follow that law anymore. Whoa. Good, morning. Is he okay? Is he dazed? Is he Yanni Yogi right now? Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial. Nervous. Meeting him. Cardiac arrest. I would also be having a cardiac arrest if I fucking met Phoenix right. And he also looked like that. I think I'm supposed to say something. Help? Help? So you're... Fine. I'm fine. Ah, Mr. Fine, is it? I did remember you having an odd name. I'm sorry? In this universe? Mr. Nick Wright. Is that his last name? I don't know if we ever get confirmation that Wright is his last name. Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney, and he's your friend, so why? You'll see. You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, it's time. Shall we? Yes, sir. Yeah, he's got this. Don't worry. I'm behind the wheel, Phoenix. You know how good I am when I was controlling you, bringing out that evidence. Okay, I need to focus. First trial. Here comes justice. Here comes justice. 10 a.m. Courtroom 2. I also have popcorn with me. There's a judge. Look at that Sprite. Looks a lot better now. It still looks pretty good. It's gonna be weird when we get to the 3D games because they have 3D models. The court is now in session. Man, good to see you all again. What the hell happened to your hair?
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
It's Mr. Payne. What happened to his hair? Dude, just go bald. It's okay. The defense is, fine. I mean, ready, Your Honor. Is that just a thing? Like a Japanese tick that he has? That he just keeps saying fine? And they had to translate it to fine? I assume that is maybe a tick he's doing, like a nervous one. But anyway, look at our main character here, Apollo. You're the man of the trilogy. And look at him now. He's completely decomposing. Mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late. Your name was Mr. Justice? Huh, what a fucking weird name. And this is your first trial? Yes, Your Honor. But I'm fine. Really. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained. Mr. Gavin. Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. That was my intention, yes. However, the defense attorney must always accede to his client's wishes. And my client specifically requested Mr. Justice. Well, of course he wants justice. Of course he wants justice. But the justice case to this greenhorn. Why? I don't exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. I thought Phoenix was. How long has it been? Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine. But does he had cords of steel that he fucking blew out? Then let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. Here he comes, the man of the hour. Hello, Mr. Nick. Oh my god. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. Can't believe I'm seeing you again, wow. Alright, I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see, Mr. Wright. Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days I'm merely Phoenix Wright. Piano player. Piano player? I would not have guessed that he learned the piano. Mr. Wright, how could this have happened? I won't speak of it further then. The prosecution would be so kind to explain the charges, Mr. Payne.
I think I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I see you leave in chains.
Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, Essie. The crime occurred at Borscht Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. Defendant Phoenix Wright took the victim, a customer, and he hit him. Wham! On the head. Smack. Killed him cold. Ooh, sounds rough. A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was?
The pianist for the club, it seems.
Phoenix Wright. A pianist.
This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice.
It does not look like the type to learn piano. Did Maya teach him? She could probably go down like piano. Just fucking go off.
Grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice.
Court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence. Deadly bottle added to the court record. A grape juice bottle used as the murder weapon. Bears the defendant's fingerprints. Oh, we forgot to look at the court record. We should have looked at the court record. Hang on. Something to note, Justice. Yeah, let's do that right now. Attorney's badge. the infamous attorney's badge. Maybe we should present it right now. How long did I yearn for one of these? Just putting it on makes me feel ready. Smith's autopsy report. The time of death was around 2 a.m. April 17th. Death caused by a single blow to forehead. Crime photo 1. The sub-basement at the Borscht Bowl Club. Oh. Let's look at this photo. He's dead there. Yeah, this place looks shoddy as hell. Well, if he was hit with the fucking bottle, why is it not broken? That's obviously the first thing. It must be a sturdy ass bottle. So obviously he was... Okay. Grape juice probably uses the murder weapon. Bears the person's fingerprints. Oh, we can analyze things now. Grape juice. How long has it been since I drank grape juice? Apparently it's Mr. Red's favorite drink. I wonder how well it goes with borscht. He likes grape juice? No clues here. The bottle is completely empty. Alright, that's enough. I think if it checks, like, zoom in, zoom out, ooh, reset the camera. Cool. Cause of death. Cerebral hemorrhaging resulting from blunt trauma to forehead. I can analyze the badge. No clues here. Oh. There's a number inscribed in the back of the badge. There are many numbers like this, but this one is mine. Proof that I'm an attorney. To tell the truth, I get a happy feeling inside looking at it. 929 XX3. What's your number, buddy? We can't analyze the photo yet. Something in no justice. All evidence is filed under the court record. I'm already one step ahead of you, sir. I got it. Make a practice of checking it frequently. Court record! Right! I've heard of that! You've heard of it? I hope you have, buddy. Use R1 to look at the evidence so far. I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Right. Just use R1. Sounds like it's time for some hands-on action. The victim was a customer at this restaurant. So was this, Shoddy Smith fellow? You believe he was a traveler, Your Honor? A traveler? According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear. And he had some sort of connection with the defendant? That, too, is unclear at present, Your Honor. We believe they first met at Borscht Bowl Club on the night of the crime. If they had only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing. Damn. That doesn't appear to have been the case. Now, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill because he sucks ass. Also, being a defense attorney. Ha! At least not piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean. As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime. Wait a second. Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and of itself. Is it? Indeed. It appears our defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal. Objection! That's how he sounds. It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim, yet it was only that, a game, in the pure sense. A competition, Your Honor. A competition? Yes, a test of wits. A silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame, know its final outcome. Blue flame? Oh, come again? Please explain that to me? Oh, that. Oh, yeah, okay. The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in the attempt to mystify those present. And impress women? Was that what he was doing there? That will be our first order of business here then, to impress the ladies. And to find out more about this fatal game of cards. Very well, defendant. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime. My pleasure. This is it. My first trial. Here goes nothing. No. Witness. Testimony. Competition. I'm a pianist by trade. Yet I can hardly play at all. Actually, let me just test the audio. So I'm going through the entire thing, as per always. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. The room where we play the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is, a game. And our customers are happy. That's all it is, a game, huh? We just play poker. We don't pay any money. A pianist who can't play piano?
Better than a defense attorney who can't defend.
Excuse me? Do you remember my track record, my buddy? I got all of those cases on lock, except for that one case, because that dude was guilty as hell. But the other cases on lock.
Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination.
Right, Your Honor. My first cross-examination. Don't blow it. Oh, you alright? You're sweating bullets. You don't think you're gonna melt? Bullets? Where? It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir. You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times. But you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? What to do? Should I ask Mr. Gavin for a refresher course in cross-examination? I might as well. I haven't played these games in a while. Better safe than sorry, especially this early in the game. Yes, teach me, I know nothing! Indeed. Your job, Justice, to be mindful of the court record and the testimony. Look for inconsistencies in the testimony with what the court record tells you. When you find an inconsistency, that's when you present the conflicting evidence from the court record with R1. We went to law school, puppy. Well, I didn't go to law school last time, it's fine. That was my law school. Like the original trilogy. Hello, second. But I didn't hear anything strange at all in the testimony just now. A good sign that you need to press the witness with L1 for more information. Press him? Don't let the fact that he's a remarkable man hold you back. Get more information. But isn't Mr. Wright my client? Well, think you can do it? Yes, thank you, sir. I think I can do it. I think you'd better, or we're going to have a problem. Just remember, find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it. Ah, yes. So R1 to bring up the court record and put the inconsistency with the evidence, and then L1 to press. All right. Inconsistencies, lies. Phoenix Wright? As if Phoenix Wright would never lie. It's up to me to prove it. Maybe he's testing us? I don't know.
The defense may begin the cross-examination.
Ooh, they got those little things there. There's cut-ins. Competition. Alright. Why can't you play? I also have 5 health bars. It looks like a health bar now. You can hardly play? Oh, I play sometimes, when customers demand it. So I play them one song. That's usually all they want. What is that supposed to be about just now? The title of pianist is a mask. A respectable face I wear for the world at large.
Then why were you really at the Borscht Bowl Club?
Oh. Who's interested? They pay you just to play poker? That would seem to be the case. I am a professional after all.
Bah! Do I detect the pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hardworking member of society like me to imagine.
Yes. Your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston.
Oh, okay. Fucking roasted. What?
I've played poker for 7 years in that little room. 7 years. It's been that long, huh? And I've never lost once. Whoa. I guess his lawyering really helped in seeing people's tells.
What?
You see why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw.
Wait, you never lost once?
Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once. Is that even possible? The room we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. Oh yeah, wait. Sometimes. We go back. Let's press this one. The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction? It has quite a history, actually. The Bush Boat Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day. Black market? Bro, you make yourself look guilty. It was all me, baby. That's right. He uses Mia to look at the cards, and then she's like, yeah, he's got nothing. Bet it all, buddy. It's like, and wins. That's how he does it. All in the past. Things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice it to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table. Right there in that room.
A smoky room? Gambling hoods? You know, just looking at this picture makes me feel bad.
The bosses gather around the table, cutting deals, safe from the eyes of a law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch through the small window. I can practically picture it now. That window does look like it would be good for keeping a lookout, but little else. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. Why 2 cards? No, I didn't need to press this, but 2 decks of cards? A simple measure to prevent cheating. If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards.
There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor.
Precisely. Cards on the table, cards upon the floor, each one forming a complete deck. A crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. Yeah. Incidentally, we use 2 types of cards at the club. One deck of cards was red, the other blue.
So I recall in poker you make 5 card hands. I can see how it would be easy to cheat.
Yes, a game of hands.
This competition you're talking about, I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently.
That's right. It was a simple game after all.
Are you sure?
Huh?
People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the very room the very moment a crime occurred. Yet you claim no connection to the crime.
And that's strange.
What's strange?
I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. You completely let that one slip by. Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right. There's something I'd like to make clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand, and I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not?
Very well, the defendant will amend his testimony.
Just one little press. I've got myself a whole new testimony. I plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. We could press it. Well, we'll press it, but I think I know we can just bring up the bottle because it's his favorite drink. Silence? The defendant has the right to refuse to testify. I haven't forgotten everything about the law. But why? That clearly puts you at a disadvantage. And it's your job to turn that around in our favor, yes? Great, like I didn't have enough to do already. Justice, didn't you detect anything odd about that testimony? Huh? Wait, something he said did ring a little strangely. Just one thing. Now, what was it? When you figure it out, I'd suggest presenting evidence. Evidence that contradicts the testimony. A contradiction in Mr. Wright's testimony, but why? I better check the court record. I can't imagine Mr. Wright lying in a testimony. Isn't it a little too early to be jumping to conclusions? This is your first cross-examination. Take it slow. If you need more information, don't forget to press. Right! I got it. I'm fine. Time to listen to that testimony again. Alright, no, I got this. I know what to do. I know what to present exactly. My attorney's badge! It's obviously important to this entire case! Look at my badge, guys! Opening objection. Having presented evidence during your first... Yeah, I did it. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement?
I'm not sure I follow you.
It clearly contradicts the, I thought...
You don't sound very sure, Mr. Justice. Objection overruled.
I don't think that won me any points with the judge. I also forgot that I could just save scum this target. Which is what we will do. I should not check any of the trophies present in this game. Hope one isn't just, Objection! It's more of a mightier voice than I thought. I think I'll just talk a little like this because he rasped his voice for some reason. So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon, this grape juice bottle, right? So I said.
Something the matter, Mr. Justice?
Yeah, you wave your hair.
Too bad on you, the defense attorney never learned how to play dumb.
What's this, Mr. Payne?
I examined the bottle in question, you see, and it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints.
Objection!
No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. What the fuck are you doing that?
What's the difference between him shouting it and the other guy? And fucking Phoenix, how loud did he do it? Kevin got Bosley hair plugs. Tragic. Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears and our case. No one would ever do that. What about my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about the fingerprints on the bottle in a restaurant?
Well, that's true. The prints alone don't...
Why he yelled objection? How loud did he go?
Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints.
Huh?
But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down.
Ooh, that's not good.
Upside down? What does that mean?
It means he was holding the bottle inverted. And there can only be one reason for that.
He could have just been carrying it that way. He likes to carry the bottle like that.
Yes, to brain someone with the bottle.
Look at his face. Like, ooh. Mr. Gavin, I think things just could turn for the worse. Oh? I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is truth. That's a good reason for everything, you'll see.
Defendant! And you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court.
I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now.
Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case.
I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be a reason.
Objection, Your Honor. You seem to have forgotten something.
And what might that be, Mr. Gavin?
On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police?
Reported?
Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright, but still that...
He looks so dazed. Does he know where he is?
Really?
Yes. Well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone.
Near the scene?
Let's take a look at a diagram of the murder scene, shall we?
That's a nice diagram. Oh, this music again. The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement, 2 floors down from ground level.
Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. Defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. Call came from the first floor of the restaurant.
I see, and this is the phone that made the call.
Used by the defendant to notify the police from the restaurant's first floor. That being said, we still don't have a guy to pin the murder on. Usually we have that by now. This case could either be as long as the first case in the game or much longer. We have to introduce that character. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he's being uncooperative? I say, Mr. Gavin, better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being.
Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about...
What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment the crime occurred. How can you possibly know this?
That's a good question. How indeed?
The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness. Ah, there he is. The decisive witness who probably did it.
You're as good as they say you are.
So someone else was in the room the night of the crime. That must mean they witnessed the crime. Everything up till now has been warm-up, Justice. Are you ready?
Very well, the prosecution may call its first witness to the stand.
What, is she a child? She's shorter than almost shorter than the stand.
The witness will state her name and profession.
Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness?
Why is she holding the plate like higher than her head? Why is she giving us a plate?
I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns.
What? So I use a little hair gel. Relax, people.
Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off.
Not my hair. You sure?
I swear to my cover. Please come out.
Is it violence against hair a crime, Your Honor? Well, if you're sure it is okay. She's still kind of hiding. I can't really see her. The prosecutor. What the fuck?
Wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witnesses,
paraphernalia? Again, was she the photographer?
Yes. She's a professional, Your Honor. Was merely the tools of her trade.
And that would be...
My name is Olga Orri. I'm employed as waitress in Borscht Bowl Club restaurant.
Then why the camera?
Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht that is naming restaurant, but I also perform how it is said other service. Please be specific on the other service.
I take it one of those other services is taking the customer's pictures.
Ching! Ta-da! Like, for example, this one. Oh, they talking. Oh, there's a grape bottle on the left over there. Untouched yet. Seem to be having a somewhat normal conversation. That's it. Really, it is. Oh, wait, no, there's multiple grape bottles. Never mind. On the bottom. It's covered by the text box. I can see it that well. That one on the left could just be some wine or something. But there's multiple of these bottles. Maybe one got switched.
That's the defendant.
And the victim.
Indeed, on the night of the murder.
Man in white hats is one who has gone kaput. What a way to phrase that, but yes.
Indeed, that is the victim. Order! Order! This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps.
In the same way as I drop cold bowls of borscht on laps of customers. Casually.
Then the court will casually accept this new evidence.
Defendant and Mr. Smith at the Borscht Bowl Club. Let me see this. There's nothing else about it I can analyze. Can't see his eyes though. And the cell phone. No clues here. Oh, hello, what is this? Wait, is he giving? Wow, the battery is being held in with a piece of tape? He should buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it. Or he just doesn't care. Possible. Look at this antenna. Like the classics back in the day.
Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder?
I was in room. The hideout, we call it. Excuse me, the hideout? It is room where famous gangster bad guy was arrested. Is room where murder took place. What? Your look of utter surprise. It is lovely. I will post my courtroom door later for you. Ta-da! Photos will be numbered, and you will write which ones you want copy of. We can get some photocopies after this. That's nice. So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. The victim, Shoddy Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orley, our witness. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means...
Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about that night's events.
Yeah, it could be her. Never underestimate our suspects. But I don't know, she does not seem like the type to murder. That night, customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on. The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Then last hand is done. But something terrible has happened. That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death. Okay. What? Already that is false.
Incidentally, who won the game?
Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
Objection!
What? That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose. Justice? Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection. But he hadn't lost in 7 years. That is true. That is true.
Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as prosecutor either. Incidentally, I have some evidence here.
These are the poker chips as they lay at the very moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. He's got a pair, 2 pairs, one's an ace. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith. He got a pair of 3s. 3 of a kind and 1 pair. So yeah, now he did win, I guess. In this case.
Chips, you say?
I mean, yes. Imagine that poker is war. Your hand is your army, and the chips are the spoils.
I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3.
What? You just said you didn't gamble. I think he means poker face.
Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table. Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness.
Oh yeah, it's time to give her a cross-examination. I already kind of know what to do. We're gonna skip to the presenting of evidence. Why not? Is there a fast way to do this? Wait, hang on. Oh, circle. I forgot about that. Yeah. I was pressing X. How many save files can we have? 10. That's a good number. Man flew at him, strangling him to death. Yeah, no, it was we were talking about a blow to the head. Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd. Gah! Normal customers only choke on borscht. Maybe you're gonna change your menu. No, I mean this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Ah! Miss Orley, really now? Did you witness the crime? Wow, nice catch. Oh. Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem quite like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything. Yeah, it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Oh, there it is. Here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during the investigation. Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? His head certainly was hit. It's photo number 2. Photo forehead, hat removed during investigation. But, I have seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at the victim, his neck. Oh, really, Miss Orley? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. Justice, I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me.
Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination.
There's such a thing as thinking too much? This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. I can read me like a book. Customer card steal game. After defendant tried to strangle victim, he hit him with bottle. Let's press this. You didn't say anything about hitting before. Oh, sorry. I must be forgetting this. Duh.
Witness, you will take greater care with your testimony.
Oh, duh. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
And that clears up any discrepancy with the autopsy report, I believe.
The defendant made to strangle his victim, then changed his mind. And chose a simpler, blunter means to do the job. Changed his mind mid-strangulation. Like, this ain't working. He's not dying fast enough. Hang on, let me get this bottle. Boop. Ow. That sums it up quite nicely. So he strangled him, then hit him? Something's fishy about all this. Go ahead. I believe you know what it is you need to do. Right, sir. Leave it to me. There were only 3 people in that room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shoddy Smith, Mr. Wright, and if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, I've got you now, Orley. Uh-huh. Hat removed during investigation. What happened to the hat? Is it bad? The injured? We haven't seen the hat after the crime. So the story that the prosecution's going with is that Phoenix lost the game. He got so riled up he tried to kill the guy. And then hit him with a bottle. Seems like they were having a nice conversation. Hat's on because it was cold. Da, 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 da. With his hand on his locket at his neck. The last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. After the defendant tried to strangle victim, he hit him with bottle. I'm stuck on something. But, what is the locket? His locket? I believe it was good luck charm, da. He gripped it many times as he played that night.
Yes, he must have felt as though it might carry him to the moon and the stars. Though if it were small enough to fit around his neck, it wouldn't have much lift.
The defense would like a clarification. This is a locket we're talking about. I mean, a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket?
Of course I knew that! It's probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that.
No! A locket's a locket! No, it doesn't matter. It's considered bad form to poke fun at the hard of hearing in our society. But he's a judge! Hard of hearing or hard of understanding? So what happened next? Well, this was removed during the investigation. So... But my idea is why the hat isn't presented, but it's... Can't really look around and point at the photo. How about this? It's blue cards, bunch of chips. Maybe she can tell me who won. What do you think won? Something terrible?
The fans were afraid from needless shouting!
Sorry. I need to seriously reconsider my vocal training thing. Now, Miss Orly, can you tell us what happened? I was so frightened. I trembled with fear. Fuck it. Let's try this. Nope, that didn't work. No, that statement contradicts that. Yeah, no, it doesn't contradict that at all. Yeah. It said this, right? But he said that wasn't really important. Locket at his neck. Oh, wait a minute. Is there a locket on his neck? Oh yeah, there's no locket there. What the fuck is a locket? There we go. Took me a while. You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? You just objected. Come on, Apollo.
Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about?
Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on locket at his neck, I believe she said.
I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar.
No, but look at this photograph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this. But what does it mean?
If we were to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death.
Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off, no? Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean the defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it?
Oh!
Huh?
Defendant! What do you have to say about this?
Please don't plead silence.
Say?
Yes?
I just noticed this, but
you have something hanging
around your neck, don't you?
Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket. with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter. Come again? Oh, he's a dad! Which I did know about that already.
Mr. White, you have a daughter? Oh, congratulations!
He confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter.
You and Edgeworth must be so happy. So Mr. Wright has a locket too? Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence?
Well now, if the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game.
Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost. Badly.
Miss Orley, you will testify to court about the game played between the victim and the defendant.
Da-da! Da, indeed, ma'am. Should believe is Russian for yes. Serious competition. The game began with 3,500 point-in chips for each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who was winning, it was victim. For last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and...
Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game.
As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow.
Oh, how many times have I heard these words? I done in a fit of anger, your honor, and now I regret.
A common tale, but true. Don't know why he auto-advanced that. He thinks Judge watches too many old court movies. Ms. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. Actually, there's an autoplay. Hang on. Try 2 seconds. It's not on autoplay, but sometimes some dialogue goes and plays by itself. Specifically when it's like the beginning of court cases for some reason. Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used? Of course! Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? Yeah, sure, fuck it. Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips. Explain? What is there to be explained? Objection! Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. Not a chip off the old block. Not a... Thanks. Now that I've pressed her in, I'd better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars? Or rubles even? What? Yet. I have been saying before, it was game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for capitalists to understand, dirty capitalist scum. Oh! 2 types of chip, 100 points chip and 1,000 points chip. It's not money, da. Justice. Sir! Don't you find her comment interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I'd have it added to her testimony myself.
Well, does the defense want the witness to add to her testimony?
Yes, add it to the testimony. Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. I wish I knew where I was going with this.
Very well, witness, if you will be so kind.
Your honor. One kind of chip is worth 100 points. Other kind is worth 1,000. 2 kinds in all. Uh-huh. Which one's worth which? Because the big ones are hundreds and 2,000... 679, that's 2,900, but then that's 4,100, that means Phoenix was winning. So if I press her, then I could maybe figure that out. If that's, you know, what's going on here. Gavin said this testimony is important. To be honest, I have no idea why.
Mr. Justice, do the court a favor and think of what you have to say before raising your hand. We're not in kindergarten.
Sorry. I'm fine. I better think of something to ask. And quick. The 2 types of chips. The small ones are 100 and the big ones are 1,000? Right? Right. Of course. Ha! Don't waste our time.
Is that all?
Yeah. Great, Mr. Gavin made me stop her and now I'm the one that looks dumb. Oh, Justice, please try not to embarrass me like that. Huh? Who, me? There's a clear contradiction in the information you have in your hands. What? It's a simple matter of calculation. Go on, try it. We're not in kindergarten after all. Calculation? No, he was not winning. He was losing. You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure? Objection! It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. At glance at this picture is enough to tell you who won. If you're not in kindergarten.
Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court?
Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? What? The big ones, of course. Duh. Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up. The totals? Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips. Oh, I totally forgot about that part. But I just assumed that, yes, the small ones are probably the 1,000 ones. And the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points.
Yes, if my calculations are correct, let's see. 3 plus 1 carried 5.
They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up, how much is it? Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten, aren't you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. So either you lied about the 3,500 points, or the chips are not how you say they are. I'm assuming it's that second one, meaning Phoenix was winning. So why would he kill somebody? Because he's winning. But why? How could this be? Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right, there's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. Starting points were wrong. Chip count was wrong. Both were right. The chip count was wrong. The odd thing here is the number of chips, right, Mr. Gavin? Why are you asking me? Just in case? Justice, it's your case I'm concerned about. If you're wondering about the chips, just look at the photograph. It's all there. Even our judge with this failing eyesight could count them. That's not the only thing failing the judge.
Let me ask you again.
This calculation makes the answer clear. If the total combined points at the table was 10,600, then each man started with the night with 5,300 points.
5,300? That's a rather half-baked score at which to start a game.
Justice, with different points starting really change anything?
The defense objection was even more half-baked than the score.
Oh, I'm dead back to the kitchen. Both were right. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in the photograph, then there can only be one answer.
Well, what is it?
The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips are worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness! Utter madness!
Show me that photograph of the chips again.
There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. It's about... That's 7,000.
What? Those make 7,000 points when you add them up.
Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. I was just confused by the phrasing of the answers. It's like, both were right. Both were right of what? Are you talking about the people or the questions? But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing!
Indeed, the victim did have a large number of chips still.
No, he didn't. Oh! Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points, and large chips are 100, let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table.
Victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points, and the defendant, 4,100 points!
Well now, it seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's impossible! My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning! Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you?
Order! Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened.
Although, if we could flip this around, he was strangling the victim for some reason. If she's telling the truth, then maybe beforehand they were like, let's make the game a little interesting. I will, if I win, I get to keep, the locket that he had, and for some reason he had it on his neck. And when Phoenix was winning and won, he's like, all right, now give me the locket. And then he starts taking the locket, quote unquote, strangling him. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure what if she's lying. She could definitely be. Obviously she is. Well, I mean, let's see. Let's wait, play it out. No, I'm drinking some ice. All right.
And Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. We must now ask ourselves.
Hold it!
Excuse me, what is it, Miss Orley?
I did not want to be saying this, but actually, you see, see what, Miss Orley? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat. Oh. A cheat? You don't mean a trick?
Wait, what do you mean? A scam?
They're all the same thing. God damn it. Yes, there was a cheat in last hand. That is why game ends with chips as they are. Great. Just great. Yeah, we do be... basic B of a prosecutor. He's trying his best. A little Xana guy. First we have lying, now cheating. Well, this case certainly has taken a turn. Pretty interesting.
Witness! You will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand.
The last hand, both men had full house. There is 4 of each card in deck, from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument. The defendant's trick was exposed. He took bottle in his hand. Sure, Mr. Smith. Miss Orley, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? Don't I smell the cover up here? Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. What? A full house is a very high scoring hand. Not easy to make it in my experience. That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gavin? What's a full house? Remember, the children probably played this game. Lawyers these days. You don't know your poker?
I can't say this bodes well for your case or career.
What is this, some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice, you know the terms one pair, two pair, and three of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. Two cards with the same number makes a pair, and three makes, three of a kind. Could not picture a hand with one pair and one three of a kind. That's a full house. That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can see each player's hand in the photo. Boop. Ah, they both have full houses. True. That being said, I would think that that dude's full house better.
You forget, there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat.
Ahem! The defense may cross-examine the witness.
If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand? Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat? That's a good question. The final hand. Yeah, kings do win it, that's why. She's saying that he cheated? I'm not really... Both men have full house. There is 4 of each card in the deck, from ace to king. Because there's 2 decks, there would be... Yeah. Let's just press this just in case. 4 of each card, you say? Yeah, there is 1 spade, 1 diamond, 1 heart, and 1 club for each card. It is an interesting fact that this number 4 comes from number of seasons. Huh, you don't say.
Ah, and did you know that the cards are numbered from 1 to 13? And all the cards in the deck and you get 364 a year!
Huh, you don't say. Isn't that 1 day short?
That's why each deck has 2 jokers. They say the second joker stands for a leap year. Thus you have a perfect representation of the year, all in a deck of cards.
Huh, you don't say. We're gonna be in this courtroom for a year if it keeps going like this. Objection relevance? I don't know. Just explain to me as if I was a toddler in kindergarten. How was it clear? Well, the defendant, he played a 5th ace. See, now that's what I want to hear. Okay, what happened here? 5th ace. Whereas in this photo... Okay, that's 4 aces. But I assume another ace was played during the game. Wait, what's that in the bottom? Wait a minute, there's a card at the bottom there. What the fuck is that? Is that the ace? It's a little hard to see. It's a little pixelated, but I think that's it. I didn't even realize it was on the floor at the top. Wait, there's also another card down there, though. I mean, that doesn't really matter. There's a bunch of cards on the floor. I think. Hang on, let's see the other ones. Yeah, no, there's a bunch of cards on the floor. It's fine. That doesn't matter. Ace? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. And Mr. Right, too. Hold up a second. That's 5 aces. And, but there's 3 kings. Oh, already I can present that. Oh, I just realized I forgot about the other part of the card record. Hang on. Oh, I switched tab. There we go. Christoph Gavin. Boss at Gavin Law Offices. First-rate defense attorney. And my trusted mentor. Phoenix Wright, age 33. He's 33 now. Pianist at the Borscht Bowl Club. Formerly an ace defense attorney of some renown. Shady Smith. Oh, there's his eyes. Okay, I'm not seeing it. Age question mark. We don't know his age? The victim in this case, a traveler, only recently back in the country, Winston Payne. The prosecuting attorney, for all his experience, he lacks a certain presence. 61. And Olga Orly, age 21. Witness in the case, Russian waitress at the Borscht Bowl Club. Obviously cheating was afoot, or perhaps I should say, a hand. Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's joke.
Very well, the witness will add this detail to her testimony, please.
Yes, please do that. Okay, anyway, now that we have objected to that. Objection! It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name... I didn't realize Payne was that old. Me neither, actually. He looks kind of young despite the balding. It's like maybe in his 40s. It looks pretty good for 60 plus. Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony.
That's the photo of the chips, is it not?
Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point.
Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo.
Oh, damn it, I have to do this. What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony? Miss Orley, in your testimony you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. But, as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces. Objection! Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question. Objection! Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's the 5th ace? I see cheating, alright, and it's going on right here in this courtroom.
2 aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating.
Wait, please! It is true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you. That's odd. She must be lying, but she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. Are you going to postpone the trial?
What might that be, Mr. Gavin?
If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards.
Cards?
Mr. Payne. Yes? The player's hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court.
Very well, the prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards?
These cards don't prove cheating was going on. Nothing will. Which of these hands is more suspicious? I guess the victim, since you said that there were 5 aces. So... It's the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards.
Very well, Mr. Payne, if you would.
Very well. Victim Smith's hand was left at the scene, a full house. Time's wasting, get to it, Justice. No clues here. Keep pointing. Aha! What is this? Only one of the cards is a blue back. I'm much more of a red guy myself. Blue is so not red, you know? Yeah. Okay. And that is the king. Diamond King. Meaning he swapped it, or? Phoenix would see this. Right, he would see this. 4 cards. And he would know that this king is not that. Yes, sir! Oh, you really wanted me to do it anyway. Okay. When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using to turn it every which way, and triangle and square to zoom in and out. That should give you a better perspective on this case. Okay, let's do this. Back I go again. This thing. What? This time he doesn't make a joke. This time he's like, wait a minute. I should probably talk about this. Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color. Sorry, I'm enjoying new music. That's impossible. But I put that card in right here. I'm sorry? What was that, Miss Orley? No, yet. I merely said, I have eek. Your Honor.
Mr. Gavin, yes?
Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker?
To cheat?
I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend. A comrade, shall we say. The dealer. Wait, so you mean... This witness, Miss Orley, she's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager. I'll catch.
Order!
Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. Of her mistake. What? Excuse me? Apollo, you good? Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard. That's impossible. Mr. Wright in Wright's hand. Ergo, Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat. Not with my client,
but with the victim, Mr. Shoddy Smith.
Let me just listen to this song for a bit. Oh man, sounds more techno. Okay. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. What?
What, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, are you? I've never heard of that before. Except it happens all the time.
Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident, and if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder. What about the plates? Oh my god. What's in that? Is that Bosch?
Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Olga Orley?
It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor.
Mr. Justice?
Your Honor.
Seems you presented a new possibility to the court when suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith.
And that means?
This court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time. Woo!
What? I did it. I held out.
I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
Is that... It's Phoenix!
Dude, what are you doing?
I literally got you more time. Mr. Wright! You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet. Literally, the lobster never falls to the floor.
What nonsense is the defendant spewing now?
Think. One of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means?
Objection! What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous!
Maybe he just wants to get off the hook even more? I don't know.
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know. Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous.
Yeah. You're right about that.
Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night.
As was said before, we all alternated between 2 decks of cards that night.
That was said before.
The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. I don't know why you would do that, by the way. It's just very not great. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed. You used different colors and they still got mixed up. We used a red deck for the last game.
I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have the impression that you were using the blue cards.
Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards.
Whatever. In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix. Which means there was cheating.
Yes, the card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo?
Yes?
Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think, in the last game, when was the card swapped?
When?
There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Well, yeah. Thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped.
Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? It's all about these cards, huh? When was the card swapped into the deck? Oh yeah, there's a lot of cool fun UIs here, look at that. They even have a story mode for if I'm dumb at the game, but I will try my best. The save's got my way to victory. She was so sure that she swapped the cards into Mr. Wright's hand, but it didn't. Maybe it was after? Because then, like... She believed he saw 3 aces. It's probably after then. Perhaps it happened after the murder.
Objection! What's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly.
Objection! Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible. She's not Jotaro Kujo.
Objection! Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but it's very impossible.
Even when the backs of the cards are different color? Yeah, and Phoenix wasn't there when he went upstairs area, right? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Oh, quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown. After the murder.
Objection! Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that?
Oh, indeed. That's one of the mysteries before us.
There's another.
Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who? The game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only 2 remain in the room. Alive, that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orlik. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for the blue? It has to be someone else. Olga did not... Why would you do that? Like, what was her gain of that? But, I would say... I don't... I'm gonna just say someone else. The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga or Ellie either.
What are you suggesting?
That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As a defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orley at this point. Yes, I know, but she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card.
And if the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious.
Huh.
Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright?
If you say that it was you, motherfucker. Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is. Dude, you're about to be trapped for murder, bro.
Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the cards wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss Worley, then who was it?
Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it? We don't know. Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction.
A new direction?
We'll find that indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. That someone made 2 critical mistakes. Wait a minute. I remember. I remember one of the cases in Ace Attorney 3, maybe? The one with the fake Phoenix, right? There was a person who pretended to die and they put on a stage play. So, what if this dude pretended to die and then woke up? It's like, I gotta swap these cards for some reason. And then fucking someone actually killed them? I don't... Yeah, game 3, case... Was that case 1? No, it was like case 2. I think case 1 was like the... You're playing as Mia. But it was, yeah. That was a long time ago. It was 2 years ago. I don't remember. But I don't know why he would do that. But there's 2 critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card. Because the one who did the swap, didn't know 2 colors of cards were being used. So it's someone who wasn't in that room. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right! The person replaced the 5th ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a 5th ace at all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. So I picked up a king from the table and swapped it in.
Objection! But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist.
True. Not until now. But you have to admit the possibility of a 4th person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night of this at the scene of the crime.
What?
I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. There has to be someone there. Someone we don't know who it is.
This trial is proceeded on one central assumption, namely that at the time of the incident there were only 3 people in that room.
I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption.
The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court.
I suppose that is the problem, yes.
Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Very well, the trial will resume in 20 minutes.
That's a brief recess time, oh my.
April 20th, 11:52 a.m. Mr. Court, defendant lobby number 3. Oh, that's it. It's been a pretty good time. Just give me a second. I'm gonna refill my water. Talking a lot. Yeah, Olga didn't have... I mean, I know some murderers have been very surprising, but Olga didn't have that, like, murderous intent type of character. So I immediately, when she came in, I was like, there's gotta be someone else. We haven't been introduced to that certain person yet. But yeah, it's only 11:52 a.m. Huh? Well, actually feels accurate. This court case started at 10 a.m. and it's been like an hour, nearly 2 hours. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well, now, I think you would know the answer to that. Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. I only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Kristoff. Justice. Yes, sir. I thought you were talking about justice, not the term. The judges summoned me to this chamber, so carry on without me. I don't know why, but okay. You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear, is that really yours, Mr. Wright? Ah, you're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. And that's a picture of my daughter in there. Let's see his daughter. There she is! That's Trudy Wright. Oh, she hasn't been named yet, my bad. There's Miss Wright. I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. Most people are, perhaps. You'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? What do you think? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago? What I did. I don't. What happened? It's unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. That's true. Sometimes we've done that to win cases. I never... Honest, but... It is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Wanna know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Eh? You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like trial law? Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you win. Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding! That witness, for instance, Miss Orley? She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? No. Come on, who noticed that? I didn't notice the sprite doing that, no. Words, habits, twitches, it's all information for the reading. That's the secret of winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No? You can do it. Uh-huh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will. Soon. Oh, almost forgot one more thing about this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. What? I knew it! I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power. Power? I don't have that superpower you do to look at the Cyclops. I had no idea my cords of steel were that special. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. To be continued. No, they did keep the saving. Usually it's after the recess, immediately after the recess. The trial resumes. Yeah, sure. April 20th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2.
Court will now reconvene. Has our witness, Miss Olga Orley, recovered?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, she's regained consciousness.
Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again.
That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued.
You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne.
He's going through it right now. Sadly, fatigued is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Miss Orley take the stand.
Very well, the witness will take the stand.
Maybe she'd be less fatigued if she was, not holding that up all the time. Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession. Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor liar and a poor loser. Fucking savage. Oh? There she is. Name's Olga Orley. That's the truth. I'm a pro dealer. People call me Olga Quick Fingers Orley.
Oh, really?
Want to know something else? I'm not really Russian. And my last name sounds like... Oh, really? There. That's the truth. I hope you're satisfied.
Oh my God, she was lying.
Witness, you will tell the court what you were really doing about that night. Fine. I'll talk. We had a plan, see?
Remind you that you are currently under oath. Any further fabrications will have serious consequences.
Fine. Wow, what a character change. Well, yeah, I should have really expected this. To be honest, I didn't. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy Smith hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Borscht Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game. Well, Phoenix, if you told me that, if she was a new hire, I probably would have figured that out sooner. As a waitress. So you were in cahoots with the victim. Not that he needed my help. Smith was a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. The plan was simple, elegant really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He's like, whatever. He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut. You swapped cards. Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it. It would have made a great double pay. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces.
Indeed. Getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast out on all his prior wins.
A 7-year legend destroyed by one little card. That was the plan. She says was the plan. It wasn't to enact a murder. Oh really, oh really? How droll. But it appears you made quite the mistake.
A mistake?
I agree. The trap was elegant. Yet what happened to that planted card? Hey, that's right! He's lucky, I'll give him that. You'd have to slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quick Fingers, oh really? Quick Fingers.
Oh really? The witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind shtick.
Damn. Oh, she's still cute. Her bandana is funny though. With the dice. Cute? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad, you hear me? Bad! Wait, did they update the... There it is. age 21, a professional swindler hired by victim to destroy Phoenix Wright's reputation. Or update her a little photo there. You do realize if you keep saying that you're bad, you're gonna go to jail, bro. You're gonna go to jail for murder.
When you're through being bad, perhaps you could testify to the court. Tell us about this trap and how it was sprung.
There we go. Witness testimony. Best laid traps. That night I planted a card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost a hand. Just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. I don't really pin it on the... Oh, come on, man. We'll pin the murder just because you lost your trap? It wasn't me who hit Smith. It was that no good cheating defendant.
A surprising frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark.
The trap was perfect, I tell you, perfect. That rotten cheater had messed it up. Look who's talking.
Well, the testimony for what it's worth is all yours, Mr. Justice.
With witnesses like her, who needs criminals? And with defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors?
Cross-examination.
It's just, this, planted card. Which card was it exactly? The trump card. The 5 of hearts. But it's not there. Because it was gone, as you said.
Let me guess. Mr. Wright's wood was to have switched the 5 with the ace to make it a full house. At least that's what you were going to accuse him of doing, thereby ruining his legend.
I slid into Wright's pocket. Oh, okay. So he was supposed to have a 5 of hearts on him, and they'd be like, oh, you had this 5 of hearts card on you, what? You jerk. Ow, are you hitting me with a bottle? Ow! And then dead. When was this? Why, before the match, of course. While he was eating. Yeah. At the Borscht Bowl Club, we serve borscht. And suckers.
Why do we never go there?
Of course, the card was to make its grand debut during the game. I'm pretty sure they're gonna fire her after this. Like a good borscht, a good plot must be cooked up early and allowed to thicken. I thought you said you weren't Russian. Oh, maybe she's just like borscht. And Wright lost her. I'll just keep pressing some of these things. So everything went according to plan. Exactly. The 5th ace came up, so it's obvious the switch went off without a hitch. Once the extra card was found in his pocket, Wright would be forever known as a cheat and a fraud.
There are worse things to be known as, I suppose.
Tell us what happened with the search. The trap failed. Do you know where it happened to it? The card disappeared? Yeah, my trump card, the 5 of hearts. Gone, without a trace. Poof. Zippo. Whoop-dee-dee. Other words. We searched every nook and cranny, even inside his cute little hat. It is a cute hat. I do miss his spiky hair, though. But the card was nowhere to be found, is this correct? Never in my long storied career, never has Quick Fingers O'Reilly been so readily duped.
Oh, really?
You're gonna keep making that joke?
So what did happen to that 5 of hearts?
Don't look at me. Why don't you ask that cheating, lying, two-faced defendant? Was you didn't cheat? You cheated for him. So the missing 5 of hearts is still missing in action. It's like he obviously cheated. Nah. This is where you're lying. Come on. Wait, isn't that a little odd? What's odd? Yeah, like why would he hit him when the card wasn't there? You searched Mr. Right thoroughly and found nothing, which means he didn't cheat, which means he had no reason to strike the victim. Well. Oh, their head. The thing, the tells. Whoa, what was that just now? I sense something. It's his powers. It's coming in. His domain expansion. Something wrong, Mr. Justice. Nothing, Your Honor. What to do? Should I press her a little harder? Press harder. Miss O'Reilly, you're hiding something. What are you talking about? Me, quick fingers O'Reilly hide something? Objection! Offense, we're afraid for making baseless accusations. I haven't heard anything from you during this entire thing. I don't need you to interrupt me. I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? Of course it's true. I did see it. Honest. I saw it when I hit him. With my own eyes. I saw it. It's this weird vibe I'm getting. That witness, for instance, Miss O'Reilly. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? Touching her neck, was it? Oh. Wow, oh man. Oh, what's going on? The sensation. It's coming into focus. There, that twitch. It's so clear. It's like I could perceive her habit like I couldn't before. Perceive. Gotcha. Bam. Miss O'Reilly, perhaps you are unaware of this yourself. Unaware of what? Whenever you get to a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand. My neck? So what? What indeed, Justice? I hadn't noticed anything of the sort. When she says that part of the testimony, she's subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory, and she touches her neck. I'm sure of it. A memory? Would someone care to explain what he's babbling about?
This is highly unusual. Let's ask the defense. You claim the witness is remembering something. Maybe you have evidence of this memory to show us.
Her habit is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So what would remind her most of the moment of the crime? Miss O'Reilly, whenever you recall the crime that night, you scratch your neck. I notice it happens when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be some reason behind this habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an immeasurable impression on your neck is this. My attorney's batting up. The bottle? Oh, was she knocked out with the bottle? But it was on his. Apollo beating a really to death with an attorney's badge. I got it. This was it. It was it all along. Whenever she talks about the moment of crime, she touches her neck. It reminds us more of that moment than this bottle, the murder weapon. But something doesn't fit. If you were the only if you were only the witness to the crime, why would that make you touch your neck like you're in pain? What's he talking about now? It was Mr. Smith, the victim, who was hit. Not you.
Objection! This is cross-examination. It is not a cross-wild conjecture. The witness's habits, they're completely irrelevant.
Justice, I'll admit I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination. I'll explain later. Just trust me, now's our only chance to break her. Miss O'Reilly, please testify in detail about the moment of the crime. The very moment. Yet, I know nothing. I know nothing. Come on, girl, what are you doing? What? You know you're not Russian. Your terrible Russian accent, obviously, you can tell.
The witness will testify, please, now.
Bah, fine. He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight until the cops got there. But you just said that he left for the... You just said that he left upstairs, bruh. So really, we have a record here that contradicts what you said. It states that the police were alerted by a report from the defendant. And we know that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made that phone call from the first floor of the Borscht Bowl Club. So explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant. Well, they grew like a foot taller. When he left the room entirely. Oh, it fell the lobster. Wait, where's the lobster on the floor? The man who picked up a bottle and swung it at that night wasn't the defendant. Oh. That poor lobster. That wasted food on the floor, bro. Go down, Dan.
You dirty cheat! Check his pockets now!
It's gone. The card's gone. You lose. Just then, Smith grabbed the bottle from next to right. And he hit me. Oh. He was angry that you sucked that cheating with your quick fingers. So he hit you. That's not cool.
You, some master of cheating you turned out to be.
Boom. Ah! I came to. The victim was already dead.
The victim was already dead, was that it?
That's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in league with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure. Why didn't Phoenix tell us that? He saw that. Obviously, he was there. Or... No, yeah, he was there.
Well, where does this leave us?
Madness. It's madness. I'm dreaming. It must have been me who was hit with the bottle, and I'm imagining all this.
It appears our prosecution is at its wits' end, and frankly, I can't blame them. Mr. Gavin, what do you think about this turn of events?
Mr. Gavin, sir? I believe that, as the defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss O'Reilly a big fat liar. What? We were in that room the night of the murder. Defendant, victim, and her. And she has a motive. A motive? Her plot foiled. The witness got into an argument with her client, Mr. Smith. And the denouement of that argument was murder. What? I didn't! I'm no killer! It's a trap! Someone's trying to frame me! Yeah, there's gotta be a fourth person. Well, tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive. Way to go in your rhyming, dude. So tangled we catch ourselves in the process.
Mr. Wright!
It's a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. What do you say? Why not consider the other possibility? That there was another person in the room at the time of the murder. Right, like Mr. Wright was saying before recess. A single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder. And the one who swapped the card didn't know two colors of cards were being used. A fourth person. Objection! Ha! This theory again. Your fourth person doesn't exist. Fourth? Ugh. Indeed. That's why I decided to bring the case to court. Here, where there's no escape and no chance for deception. The perfect place to catch the real criminal. The real criminal? And we're in luck. A clue to the real criminal's identity was kindly provided for us. Uh-huh. I'm not sure how it was. And right at the beginning of the trial, no less. What? Paula, perhaps you know what I'm talking about. Sorry? If you're gonna say that's Kristoff, I'm gonna go, what? Because he's the only person here that's been introduced. There's no other person. Remember what I said. The fourth person who swapped the cards made one critical error. Here she wasn't considering the color on the backs of the cards. Right, but how could such an obvious mistake occur? They're colorblind? Cards used for the last game were red. Yet, there's one person here in our court who thought those cards were blue. Yeah, I had that impression too, but why? Well, Apollo, think you can figure out who it was? I don't remember, it's been like 2 hours. It's not me, I swear! Then, who's this fourth person? Well, it has to be Kristoff, I guess. Why do I always get put on the spot like this? Oh, that's why you didn't want Kristoff to defend him. He's the only one. It has to be Kristoff. I don't remember the beginning of the case that much. That little small detail completely flew by me, but it has to be him. Let's hear what the defense has to say. Who was it? Who thought the cards used in the final game were blue? It was Shady Smith. Obviously. No, it's Kristoff. Let's go all the way back. Guys, we'll make it to the beginning of the game. We'll get him. We're almost there. Never mind, it's not there. Let's go, Kristoff. Your instincts are sharper than your hair. As I expected. That is true. The only way I could think it's Kristoff is because is your eyes and ears are sharp as your hair. God damn. Is that he like I said, like Phoenix didn't want Kristoff to represent him in the case. Because Kristoff was probably gonna blow it on purpose or pin it, or at least be nice and pin it on the girl. That's Kristoff being nice. He'd pin it on Olga. It's like, I got you out of this case, Phoenix. I'm super cool. I don't know why you would do this. I was right. Kristoff Gavin, you were the fourth person that night. But of course Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards. How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. You can't tell which of the cards are blue. The ones on the floor or the table. But look! You can see the colors in this photo. Technology has advanced. We can see colors in photos now. Yes, but when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light. Why is that? Hold on. It's fine. Sorry about that. It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that, a game, In the purest sense. A competition, Your Honor.
Competition?
Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs reefed in blue flame, know its final outcome. Blue cards. And then there's this. Only one blue card. Oh, he didn't see the red cards because they were all face up. So he just took a blue card and was like, put it in there. He didn't know there were red cards that existed. In the color photo, you can see. No. Well, Christoph? Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Gavin, is something the matter?
No, nothing. Excuse me, it was just so sudden. Right, you weren't seriously accusing me, are you? Oh, Christoph. No, even I'd never take a joke this far. What the fuck is it? I'll admit. It's starting to make sense why I see Christoph, and he may not look as composed here in the future, because maybe when he goes to jail and it's like, well, I lost my job because of you, you asshole. Now I'm gonna act like a flamboyant man. I don't know. That could also be his brother. I don't want to know. I don't want to know, chat. I don't want to know why he looks like that. Let's just play this out. This has gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb. This is insanity. Defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder? I assure you, I'm quite sane. What possible connection could Mr. Gavin have to the victim? That's true, I don't know that connection. I wasn't worried that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either. Yes, but Mr. Gavin and the victim have never even met. Even Payne is in disbelief. Well, what if they have? That's true. Well, I get you could just say what if. I could say what if a giant purple elephant walked into the room and murdered the victim. I could say that too. And I could be right. Huh? There is a possibility after all. They may have met that night before the game started.
What are you suggesting?
Is this the truth, Mr. Wright? Is this the truth Mr. Wright was staying silent about? Well, only one thing to do. I guess it was just to catch Mr. Gavin off guard.
Objection!
Alright, thank you, Santa Guy, for coming out. Objection! The defense would like to request no such thing. Mr. Gavin? Mr. Gavin? Testimonies must relate to the case. How could anything happening before that game of poker be related? I may be standing next to a murderer. Man, bruh.
I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Gavin.
As explained before, the defense believes that Miss O'Reilly...
Am I to assume you speak for Mr. Justice in this? He is the defense, not you.
He just slightly stares at me like, Apollo, let's end this case. Just accuse Miss O'Reilly that it's her and let's move on. Just forget that everything happened right now. Apollo, will you just accuse Miss O'Reilly now and we can go home?
Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you.
Oh, okay. Got two teachers, one the devil on my shoulder and the other is the guy in a beanie.
Does the court, in your opinion, need to hear Mr. Wright's testimony?
No, dude, it's fine. No, yeah, let's hear the testimony. This was Mr. Wright's strategy. He was planning this all along, and I intend to see it through. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court. That too, Justice. You would betray me, your teacher. I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty. This is about the truth. He's about to fucking kill me, bro. I'm scared.
Well, the defendant, Mr. Wright, will take the stand, please.
This is one crazy first trial, huh? Appetite before murder. Not even Christoph and I had dinner. That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Oh, you didn't tell us about that. Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Kristoff left. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. Look at the photograph. That's obviously a one. Yes, I am seeing it. Wait a minute. Is he? What the? He's wearing sandals. Look at that. It's cold in that room. Also, why is there snow in the fucking... Why did I just realize? What is up with this fucking restaurant? Why is there snow here? Why he wearing sandals without... Is it cold, bro? I'm not saying you should wear socks with sandals. I'm saying you gotta wear some fucking shoes, bro. Puppy Phoenix is white. He can't feel cold. I think that works, bro. How about the necklace? Oh wait, is he wearing the necklace? When I returned, he was dead. Blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin. And immediately is like, well, someone's dead. I should go upstairs and make a phone call to my attorney.
Mr. Gavin, you were at Bush Bowl Club the night of the murder?
I dine with him rather frequently.
And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder?
Quite against my will. I'd become involved in the murder. I'd become involved in the murder. I need to call my attorney right now. Like right this second, immediately. Well, the law in this universe works like super fast. We can only take trials like 3 days and then that's it. We're done. This dystopian hellhole that we call the Ace Attorney universe. So immediately he's like, oh, I need to get my attorney real fast. Like really now. I thought I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him. You were planning this all along, weren't you, Mr. Wright? Also, yes, maybe he knew that. He thought, did Gavin just murder this guy? Oh man, I gotta go, Gavin, to make sure. I gotta maybe catch him in the act or something. Just because you wanted to drag me into a little murder trial. The only thing I want is the truth. As I did back then, and now. I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took on your case. It appears that I was wrong. He's about to break at some point. He's gonna fucking get mad.
Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness.
Justice. Sir? He's lying, and you're going to expose him. Understood, sir. Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright, this can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial? Why can't you have a thinker trial? This motherfucker has to have a fucking like, oh my teacher just became a murder suspect. Appetite before murder. That evening, Kristoff and I had dinner. We sat. Yeah, we read this. Let's press this. Let's press it. You had dinner with Mr. Gavin. Yes, he dines with me at the Bush Bowl Club quite frequently. We were enjoying a usual dinner at our usual spot. As usual. Usual. I always eat at the table closest to the piano.
I see.
Where Mr. Smith was sitting.
Where Mr. Smith was sitting.
So the plates and such on the table were from your dinner?
Indeed. The remnants of my meal with Kristoff. We dined for 2 hours, then Kristoff left. After that... Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes. That interval of time they could have met. 5 minutes. So the two of them could have passed in the restaurant during that time. That would have been a fateful encounter to be sure.
Objection!
Why are you in this anymore? My dude, you've been sidelined. Now, technically, Kristoff here is technically a prosecuting attorney. Oh, Mr. Wright. What was it you said? Kristoff Gavin and Shady Smith may have met? I believe I did say that. Here I was all nervous about this meeting, and now we hear they just passed in the hall. But those 5 minutes could have been crucial. He could have immediately gained the idea that I gotta murder this man. I hate this dude. In those 5 minutes, they're so important.
That does seem a little weak to as a pretext for murder.
Oh, it would be, if that were all that really happened. Come on, Mr. Wright. What are you hiding this time? He hides his face when he's sad. Trap failed. Smith hit the witness. About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga O'Reilly mentioned. The cute pirate lady. She's got a fucking bandana. She reminds me of a pirate. Plant the card in Red's pocket. Yep. Reveal Smith call him out, that's right. That's per usual. Trap shut, but it did not. Just like that, legend will be dashed to pieces. Yes, a harmless prank in essence. Harmless prank! It was quite a quirk of fate that I happened to discover it. A quirk? I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. The card she planted. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game. Wait, she did this before the game? Bruh! You should probably do it like immediately and then be like, alright, now go. And because like, obviously he's gonna check his own pockets.
Disposed? Where?
There's an empty bottle of grape juice that I'd been drinking right beside me. I drew in the card inside the bottle. An empty bottle of grape juice? The murder weapon! Yes, I rolled it up and shoved it in. The color glass makes it hard to see.
A battle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. That sounds like a terrific drama!
You should write it in a book. When your memoirs come out, Judge. Card inside the murder weapon. That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look.
Mr. Rice, the poker head of courtroom number 3 approves of this battle of wits.
Oh, come on. It's not that hard to see. Where is it? The bottle is completely empty. It do be empty, though. This bottle isn't the murder weapon? It's not in there. Open it, at least.
Open it!
It's not in there. That or game's lying to me. Which is so totally possible at times, you see. Blunt trauma to the forehead. By the way, still kind of unbelievable that this bottle did not break. I get that bottle, some bottles are sturdy, but come on, bro. This murdered a person. That shit will be broken. Maybe that is an important thing, or maybe it's just, the game's like, nah, it's just fine. It's fine. The bottle's just sturdy as hell. My trusted mentor.
Please revise your testimony with this new information.
I discovered the trap during the game and disposed the card in the bottle. I'm gonna there is a contradiction. This bottle empty. Objection! The bottle empty, bruh. Yeet. I throw it at Phoenix. Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes? I've examined the bottle, and I don't see any card in here. No?
What? Mr. White? Surely ellipses isn't all you have to say for yourself.
I can't say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however. Huh? Perhaps a fifth person came and took it out. Oh, and a sixth person could have helped. Now he's being uppity. Now he's being uppity that he's being accused of murder. He's like, fucking, this is ridiculous.
I'm not going to be associated with this.
Eating my popcorn. Oh! Take a drink of water.
Mr. Gavin, Mr. White is your client.
My apologies, Your Honor. I get a little uppity when I'm being accused of murder.
I won't have you disparaging our investigation either.
You looked inside that bottle?
There was nothing.
So what's going on? Is Mr. White hoodwinking us again? Did the car just disappear?
In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid decisive contradictions call for decisive evidence.
Oh. Push him harder, Justice. Break him. It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO. Why do I get the feeling we're not on our that anymore? It's just like, you just accuse him of murder. I don't care anymore. I want to be done with this. I gave him an out, when really, and now he's just deciding to not take it. I'm done. I'm done. Wait, we started at the beginning? Oh shit, no, it's the beginning. Hang on. Is there anything else I could press? I did already contradict something, but I don't have any decisive contradictions here. Okay, we'll press this. You made the call to the police from the first floor of the restaurant, correct? Exactly. Cell phones don't get a signal down in the hideout. With a Y. Was anyone else on the first floor at the time? Not a soul. It was the middle of the night after all. So there in the darkened restaurant, I called the cops. This unbeatable record, though. Only one. I get. Actually, Olga would have been the witness to it. So I guess that's just his word against those two. After making the call, I returned to the hideout. Didn't seem right to leave the injured waitress alone. Cut from his forehead. When you returned, the victim was already dead, yes. I'll admit I was a little startled when I walked in.
A little?
He was bleeding from his forehead, after all. I guess I'd be startled too if I walked in on a scene like that. Hang on. No, wait a minute. Why does he have his hat? You saw him with the forehead bleeding, but he had his hat on. Mr. Wright, if I may, objection! Yes, I said that all the time before. You're not special. Take a look at this photograph of this crime scene. See the victim here? He's wearing a hat. I wouldn't think you could see blood on his forehead. Good point. I like how he's impressed, even though I'm almost getting him arrested. Justice! Next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it. Damn, what the hell? What is going on, bro? Mr. Roach, can you explain this to the court? I forgot to mention something. I was the one who put the hat on his head. Bro, why did you touch the crime scene? What are you doing, Phoenix? Fix! I know you do a lot of weird stuff, but come on, man. Don't touch the crime scene. Don't touch a dead body.
You put the hat on the dead man's head.
You worked through your entire book again.
After calling the police, when I returned to the scene, his head was in full view, shining bright, just like this in this photograph. And I picked up his hat off the floor and put it on his head. Why'd you do things like that? Why was there an explosion? All I can say is, I'm sorry? But that's the only thing I touched at the crime scene. So Mr. really didn't see it. It being the victim's, his head. I think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Here we go again. Mr. Gavin? Pardon. It just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case. Hey, he's still our client, isn't he? I believe that's enough of that. Mr. Gavin? This witness's testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. Yeah, I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago. Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Christoph. I never knew. I believe it was you who drew the first stone. Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never. Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here. I mean, the not telling any truths, or not telling anything. The absence of truth is still kind of a lie, but okay, sure. You have not told a lie, my buddy. That's what I was trying to say. I was thinking of the phrase. When I noticed a trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well. A reason? That reason is right here. Your cell phone? The tape? That night, recall that I spoke with defense attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case I recorded our conversation. What's this? Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. Christoph, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. What's this? Game not going well? Something like that. The gentleman who challenged you, he turned out to be good? He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him. Hard. I mean, someone cracked that flawless bone china plate. What? Why? Why did he say that? Why did he? I guess he didn't think that Phoenix thought so many steps ahead that he would record the conversation. But that's it, isn't it? That flawless bone china plate. And then he hid the entire... So he's the only one who saw the injury until the police came and then looked at it. That is very genius, Phoenix. Good job. It wasn't you, was it? Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should have come to that. Bone china plate. A kind of porcelain. Very smooth and shiny. And not plate, but pate. I believe it was referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead. The court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating my forehead. Wait a second, something's not right about that phone call. So after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Borscht Bowl Club. Most certainly. Then how did he know? When did he see this bone china plate? Oh, that's right! Now he has to admit that he met the victim. That's the only way to get out of this. He has to admit that he met the victim in order to at least be like, okay, I did not. Alright. I met the victim. I did talk to him, sure. For 5 minutes. It was a brief chat. And now he's going to be put on the stand. And now we have to look at this inconsistencies. Let's fucking go. Phoenix, you did it. You've put him in the trap. Yes. That's when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Smiling. Troubled, I returned to the crime scene. And when I spotted Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court. Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So this is your reason. The reason why you put the victim's hat back on. Your point, Mr. Gavin? Let's come down to this, has it, Phoenix, right?
Order! I will have order! Mr. Payne!
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe this court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear defense attorney Gavin's testimony?
Well, as the prosecutor,
Very well, we'll break for 10 minutes. After which Mr. Gavin will take the stand for cross-examination. Are we all clear on that?
Crystal clear, Your Honor.
Very well, this will be the final recess of the day.
April 20th, 2:32 p.m. Man, what a long day, huh? Apollo, you've got a very interesting first case, don't you, buddy? Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chamber. Who'd have thought today would turn out like this? May I? It's Trudy! I mean, I don't know your name. Huh? What? Hello, sir. Please, pick a card. What's all this about? Is this one okay? Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You'll need a trump card to make it. A trump card? And he brought his daughter in on this. Maya was busy. The card you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely, and the game is yours. That's all. An ace. Where do I remember that card from? Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces, and Mr. Wright's 2. It is 5 aces in all. It is true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating. I swear to you. The missing 5th ace. Wait, this blotch of red. Is this blood? Phoenix, why are you getting your daughter to hold this bloody card? You have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth. My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it. Bye-bye. This bloodstained card is my trump card for finding the truth. I fell deep into that thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl. I'd seen her recently, but where? Come on, man, you don't remember? It's been a long day. That's when I made a connection. Ah, there we go. Adorable big hat. Achieved from a mysterious girl. Could this be the missing 5th ace? Yeah, Payne has been upstaged by this entire thing now. He's just like, why am I here anymore? Courtroom number 2.
The court will now reconvene. Defense Attorney Christoph, Gavin, will you please take the stand?
What is this? What is this day?
Now then, if you would, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor. Will Mr. the witness state his name and occupation?
Is this farce really necessary? Necessary, Your Honor?
Believe me, far stranger things have gone on in this courtroom. Remember when they brought in a phone and we had to talk to a convicted murderer? Oh, I guess a murderer. It was a crazy time. We talked to a parrot in this courtroom. I think I saw a man turn into a tiger. I don't remember.
Fine, I'll play along.
First, there's one thing we need to have made clear. How did you know about the secret beneath the victim's hat? Oh, and the ghosts were crazy. I saw them. They were real.
My secret, I'm guessing he means the fact that Mr. Smith was bald.
Did not want to say bald out loud to everybody.
Forgive my curiosity, but what is it about this fellow's head? Ronnie seems to have an inordinate interest in it. Objection!
He's now on my side. I don't know why I didn't think he'd be here, but he is. Hey, buddy, how's it going? You're my new teacher now.
I wouldn't call it inordinate, Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Wright!
What do you think you're doing, right?
Ah, things sure look different from the other side. You know what I mean, Apollo?
Speaking of looking different from the other side, let's consider something for a second.
Also, it's playing the original song. It's playing the original music. Da, 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 da. I just noticed that now. Nostalgia.
The victim wore the hat all night, except once taking it off, except for that one time. That one time being the instant he was hit.
Oh!
When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, the hat was laying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have had to been there in the hideout at the time of the crime. In other words, I must be the real killer, is what you're trying to say.
Not bad, Apollo.
Yeah, and I may have glazed over some of the things I said. Sometimes I do that.
Head. This is something we already knew, though. Something we already deduced. Mr. Gavin.
I'm afraid that I haven't been entirely honest with the court.
What? What? What's going on now?
Oh, I assure you, I had the noblest of intentions. I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
And I'm afraid in the current situation, I see little reason to hide anything. Very well. Allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that night.
Finally, you may begin your testimony. Tell us, how were you involved in the events of that fateful night?
That fateful night. The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window in the hideout. It must have been right after the murder took place. The victim was dead, as he appears in the photo. A bald head, an unconscious girl, and Wright holding a bottle in his hand. I sensed that was not the best place for me at the time, and so I left. That's when the call came from from Wright.
I was like, this place sucks.
So you witnessed the murder? Or better or worse, I missed the actual moment of the dead.
Mr. Gavin, may I remind you that you are on Mr. Wright's defense team? Your testimony is clearly disadvantageous to your client.
What else could I say? I'm standing on the witness stand after all. So you are, Mr. Gavin.
Hmm?
And you had to testify, as you just did. You had to tell them you saw the scene of the crime through that little window. Mr. Wright? You had to say that, because that was the only probable window of opportunity. Right, Apollo? Oh!
Mr. Wright, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant. Mr. Justice, are you prepared?
Yes, Your Honor. I can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin. This trial is getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phoenix got so much smarter. I was after 3 games. It's like, all right, I've been through all that. It's time to be a proper lawyer. That man, you mean Mr. Smith? He was different from the other customers. His aura, shall we say, I knew he was a serious poker player, but it was more than that.
Then you knew the true nature of your client's job.
Of course, but I also knew he wasn't engaged in gambling, which would be illegal. Well, it makes sense that he'd know. They were friends, after all. Word from my friend, I returned to the club. You see, I feared this Mr. Smith might be someone coming to settle an old score.
I see. What happened then?
The little window. You mean the one used to watch up the stairs? Okay, so you go from the stairs, you see the window there. Yes, a relic of an ancient past. The black marketeers used it, I believe. Why did you go through the trouble of peeking through the window? Wouldn't it have been easier to just open the door and go into the room? Yeah. I didn't want to upset Wright, you see. Upset Mr. Wright? Yes. What if my views had been unfounded? I'd be walking in on their match. Bad form, to say the least. So far, everything he's saying makes sense. Must have been right after the murder took place. The victim was dead as he appears in the photo. You say that. Oh, my controller is now running out of battery. I've been charging my phone. It's already at 100, so I'm gonna change my controller. How do you know it was right after the murder? Really? No need to shout, Justice. I was just getting to that part in my testimony. Ah, there he is. The coolest defense in the West. We know and love. Even when you're standing up there on the witness stand, some things never change. I was afraid you changed too, right? But you haven't. You and that overbearing personality of yours. With friends like these, who needs enemies? I'll press everything. By photo, you mean the second photograph of the crime scene. Precisely, you see. He wasn't wearing his hat then. I saw his head when he was dead. And then Mr. Wright came along and replaced his hat.
Can you describe the scene of the crime for us?
Ah. You still took the case? Those were the only 3 at the scene of the crime. Yes, as far as I saw at least.
Then we're back where we started. The killer was the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Who else could it have been? But why didn't you talk to the police?
2 reasons. First, I didn't actually witness the very moment of the crime. Second, my office was asked to defend Wright. Even after seeing what I had seen, I couldn't abandon my friend. Objection! There must have been someone else there at the moment of the crime. Justice, I just said I saw no one. Not a soul. But that goes against what Mr. Wright said. Ah yes, this mysterious 4th person. Who would conveniently be the real killer, I suppose. Glad to see we agree, Mr. Gavin. Let me pose a question then. Tell me, what possible reason did the real killer have to swap the cards in the victim's hand? Perhaps you can show us a reason why such a thing would be necessary. How can I show you something I can't find myself? Remember, Apollo, the card that was swapped out was the 5th ace. The 5th ace, right!
Well, Mr. Justice, the question of why the killer would swap out a card has been raised.
Well, there's only one time where I have to actually not show evidence. So might as well show it now. I guess.
It's now or never. The defense would like to present evidence to the court. Evidence showing the reason why a card was swapped out.
Go ahead and point out your reason, Mr. Justice. Why did the killer take the 5th ace?
The reason is, this. Is that an ace?
What? Why, it's got blood on it! Right next to the spade. What?
This is insane! Why wasn't I told about this? Why?
Could this be the missing 5th ace?
It's conceivable. How could you? What are you doing with that card? Well, that's the thing. Why is Mr. Gavin so upset? Because he's about to go to jail for murder. It's just a fishy card from some fishy girl.
Oh, that card. It's mine. That is, I picked it up at the Borscht Bowl Club that night. After the murder had occurred. I gave it to my daughter. Cards are a stock in trade after all.
Objection! No, impossible, unacceptable. The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud.
He's going out. He's going off, bro.
A fraud? How can you be so sure?
What?
I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. Allow me to elaborate. What if this trace of blood was the reason?
The reason for?
For the killer to take a card from the scene of the crime.
Where are you going with this?
Take another look at the photo and at the victim's head. At the moment of the crime, his hat fell to the floor, and a trickle of blood ran from his forehead down to the back of his head. Couldn't a drop of that blood have fallen on one of the cards? I suppose. The killer then took the card to hide the blood.
Objection!
Regardless, that evidence is non-permissible.
Oh?
Right. Regardless of how you wasted the last 7 years, you used to be a lawyer. You know what a serious crime it is to conceal evidence.
Oh, we can discuss the finer points of our legal system later.
How insane it is.
What's important now is that I've answered your question.
What are you talking about?
You wanted to know why the killer would have taken the card from the crime scene, and now I've told you. That one drop of blood would have been decisive evidence, you see.
Objection! This is baseless conjecture. Baseless! Objection! Oh, I assure you, it's quite based. I have seen this image before, and I did not know where it was from, and now I do.
Holy shit.
It is so based, Your Honor. What? The fuck are you talking about?
It's amazing, actually. How a single drop of blood on a single card can lead us to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo? Yes! Try picturing the scene of the crime in your head.
Oh man, this 3D imaging.
It's all with the power of the DS. The murder took place in the hideout. The body of the luckless victim was found at the poker table. before the killer swapped the card out, there was a single card with a drop of blood on it in the victim's hand. Given this, there is one decisive problem with this scene. The victim's hand, which by the way, we don't know actually that was how that went, because you took the card and then took it away.
Well, what is it?
Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given that there was a drop of blood on the card, whose position in this diagram doesn't fit? The victims, the killer, the witnesses, the second witnesses. Whose position doesn't fit with the bloody card? I mean, this one, I get, because it's pouring from the back, but it's on his hand? Take that! Well, isn't the victim's position that's the problem?
I don't follow your logic here, Mr. Justice.
Well, look, the victim was struck on the head, sending him back in his chair. You think any blood would fall behind the body? Not onto the table in front of him. Oh! Take a look at the photo again. If he bled in this position, the blood would fall on the floor, not on the cards. Meaning he must have been hit when he turned his back. He must have been hit in a different position. Not in the position that we've all been thinking he has been hit in. The crime scene was staged by Mr. Kristoff.
Why, that's right. So what does this mean?
Incidentally, we are sitting in swivel chairs.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I should probably have looked at the chairs more. They are indeed swivel chairs. You see that was there though. So I should have looked at them more to think about that, but yes. So he must have had his back turned from the table at the moment of his death. Swivel chairs? Oh man. Apollo, try turning the chair around. Oh, I get to recreate a crime scene.
The chair was facing the other way.
It would have to be. So we have to assume that at the time of the murder, the victim's chair was facing away from the table.
Mr. Wright returned from informing the police, which way was the chair facing?
When I came back to the room, the body was seen as in this photo. That being said,
I mean, if you really think about it, you could also just be like, well, what if he's lying, though? He was the only one in that room.
what if he just swapped the chairs? That would mean the killer turned the chair back around. Let's take the next step. Look at the diagram once more. We know now. The victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder. But this creates another significant contradiction. Again? Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we? Apollo, whose location on this diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime? The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses. Whose location creates a contradiction of the victim was facing away? I mean, Kristoff said that he was facing... What doesn't make sense is the second witness. You mean to say I don't make sense? Oh, no, of course you do, sir. As I thought. Help! Oh, whoops. Guess not. I mean, he said that he saw it in a different way.
Whatever, I'll take that hit.
Mr. Justice, I'm a little hard of hearing.
Did you say something? Would you be kind enough to show the court one more time what you mean? Let's test your reasoning skills, shall we? Paolo, whose location on this diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime? Victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses. Whose location creates a contradiction? Ah, damn it! I pressed it by accident. Nah, that was my bad. I meant to press triangle. Help! Oh boy. So I want to press whose location creates a contradiction if the victim was facing away. I mean him again? Well, the contradiction position here is the victim's.
Ken? How many contradictions can one man have?
Though you're certainly giving him a run for his money. Oh, I missed again.
Defense will refrain from contradicting itself out of the case.
He's quite clearly regrets his mistakes.
I'm not sure I see that, but very well. More time, please.
This is, her. Guess it would be you, right? The victim was struck from the front, correct? Indeed. But wouldn't it be hard for a killer to hit him from the front? Sitting where his indicator currently is? I would think it'd be quite hard, yes.
Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense. Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game?
I believe a sufficient reason will soon come to light.
What?
There's something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually. Look again at the diagram. Apollo, if the victim was struck while he was sitting, as shown here, where would his assailant be standing? Try marking it on the diagram. What? But there's no room to put a mark where the killer should be. Don't worry, let's think this through and see what we find. We know the victim was facing toward the wall at the time of the crime. That's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else. Where would the killer have to be standing to strike our victim from the front? On the fucking table? Well, I guess the killer would have to be, here?
Anything to say, Mr. Justice?
Sorry?
A little late for that, I'm afraid. Penalty.
Come on, give me a little hint.
And not to overthink things, Apollo. What does your instinct tell you?
I didn't overthink it. I thought he was standing on the table.
Oh, wait, no. I didn't read the damn He's now asking where would the killer have to stand to be striking our victim from the front? Here? Nope. Okay, now... No, I didn't read that he said front. But even then, it's like, well, I cannot really... How the fuck do we...
Stop on top of him? What the hell?
We could also be here. Then he drew something at him. Like, ha! And then drew it at him. I don't know why he would do that. Don't overthink it. I'm overthinking it. Could just be here. I already tried this, so we're trying this. Okay. No. Facing toward the wall at the time of the crime. It's the only thing we know for sure. Try to figure everything else. What would the killer have to be saying to strike our victim from the front? Like, I pointed there. This is why you should have gone to law school for object purpose. I'm just gonna say here. This is where Kristoff is. I'm just trying to blame Kristoff for this. Try to forget about everything else. Where would the killer have to be standing? That also goes by fast. I don't click X on that. To strike our victim from the front. I'll be honest, chat. There is no real place for him to stand to strike him from the front. You can't go on a okay. You'd have to stand somewhere here. Like literally in front of him to hit him from the front. You're overthinking it. What do you mean I'm overthinking it? He'd be, where do we strike him from the front? He'd be here and then hit him. I mean, I pointed to the sides already. At this point, I'm gonna point at every fucking point to the relevant spot. Good point here again. It's not this, I know. You can tell I'm terrible at this. Hey. It's facing towards the wall. Where would the killer have to be standing to strike our victim from the front? If he's facing towards the wall, he would be standing there or there. Will I get it? There's like multiple different places to point. Obviously, if it's a point of relevance. Let me try rereading all of this real quick. Victim suddenly turned to face the wall in the middle of the game. I believe is sufficient reasonable. Yeah, I'll ask when I've gone through every possible idea in my brain.
You know, the victim was facing toward the wall at the time of the crime. That's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else. Where would the killer have to be standing to strike our victim from the front? The wall? Here! But he could also be standing in, like, between the... Yeah, I guess I overthought it. That makes sense. You get points for flair, but that's all about all you get. At least I figured it out. I guess that was the wall. I thought I was on with something there, too. I really need to point out that standing there would be impossible. The victim is facing a solid cupboard. Or are you claiming the victim climbed the cupboard and hit him from above? Ha! It's simple logic, really. And this was the only place the killer could have been standing? Then that means that at the very moment of the crime... Wait, I know. At the moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there. Just now? Oh man, he really moved everything that fast, huh? What the fuck? That's the only explanation. Right, Mr. Gavin? Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange to examine the cupboard in the hideout immediately. Bailiff, send the team to the crime scene immediately. Have them try to move the cupboard. Ah, Your Honor? What? There's one more thing your men should look for. Please give this to the bailiff.
Yes, I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Wright.
I do my best. Let's forge ahead here. While we wait, look at the diagram once again.
I don't want to look at the diagram once again. It makes my head hurt.
Once again, it's been changed. If the killer was standing here at the time of the crime, then this cupboard wasn't here. Which means... Apollo, try moving the cupboard. Thank you. Like you can see, the cupboard was the problem. At the time of the murder, it had to have been as shown here. Now everything is in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my! What's this?
What is it now?
Look at the diagram of the crime scene once more. It appears we found yet another contradiction. What I believe to be the final contradiction, in fact. Huh? Oh, dang! Notice something, Apollo? Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion.
Now then, Mr. Justice, please point to the new contradicting indicator. Is it the victim, the killer, the witness, the second witness? Which indicator in this diagram contradicts what we know about the crime?
Fucking moving ass cupboards. About this cupboard. Are we all okay? Are we all okay with assuming it was moved? Sure, why not? Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit. The cupboard would completely cover up the window to the stairs. Oh! That's right. Someone standing outside wouldn't be able to see in. Someone like Mr. Gavin. What did you say? Oh. Is the coolest offense in the West losing his cool? No! Don't expect me to play along with your little game, right? It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. And someone was, while the window to that room was blocked by the cupboard. And we've been going for 3 hours. Crazy. It's a good thing I streamed early today. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court exactly where did you witness the crime scene from? Excuse me, Your Honor. Order! This is a court of order of law, and I will have order.
He just now received word from our investigative team in the Borscht Bowl Club. They've examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor.
Oh, and what did they find?
Well, Your Honor, turns out there is a secret passage behind.
What? 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 What?
That makes sense. This place was a hideout for places. So I guess there would be a secret passage, wouldn't there?
Oh, what the fuck? Yes, I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. This is one of the tricks to the room many of our regulars know about. I do remember him saying something about that now, that he mentions it. A secret passage is a handy thing to have when you're engaged in illegal goings-on. Never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of the law. So the room has a secret passage. Where does it go? The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld boss could get away from the cops. And enjoy a cold bowl of borscht, no doubt. Just like our killer. Oh, I'm sweating. I'm sweating. You see where our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo? I see it, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand. At the time of the murder, the window was blocked and the victim's hat was only off his head for a few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin? Come on, say something.
I ask what really happened that night.
Actually, I think we could probably figure it out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with destiny. Then he crouched, hidden in the secret passageway behind the cupboard, holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. And the chance came, and he took it. Ugh! What? Why did you do that? Wait here, I'll go help. And Phoenix leaves. Miss Olga O'Reilly was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. But this time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Shady Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. And our killer stepped out from the secret passage and into the hideout. The victim must have heard the cupboard sliding aside. He wheeled his chair around to look and... boom. After the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood on the card. He would have, of course, realized the need... He would have, of course, realized the need to destroy the evidence. That single spot of blood told the whole story of the crime scene. Too bad for him, he didn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor. And the fact that they were all red. Ugh.
Well, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn. I'm truly sorry to see this day come. Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Payne!
Yes, Your Honor?
Prosecution will continue its investigation. As for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant is hereby cleared of all suspicion. Believe me when I say that I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin, but I'm afraid circumstances call for me to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately. Objection!
I was like wondering, like, he hasn't broken down yet, and he's going to have to say something. Oh, no need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself. It's not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand. Your point, Mr. Gavin? Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked. But the person of your caliber would be taken in by such a low-grade parlor trick.
Excuse me?
The defendant is cleared of all suspicion? This is hardly the time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence here. What he has done is use illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else. And not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney.
Illegal evidence?
Objection. Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin. Is there still any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course. This bottle, for instance. Bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking. How do you intend to explain away the fingerprints on the murder weapon? Not just any fingerprints. Am I right, Mr. Payne? Actually, yes. The fingerprints on the bottle were upside down. Ah, fuck. I seem to recall this being an issue earlier. The court in this case demand an explanation. I can think of only one reason why one would hold the bottle upside down. And that is to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle. Well, Your Honor? See how the caught fish squirms to the last. Well, Apollo? Yes? Your boss seems awfully concerned about this bottle still. But I'm sure you can come up with a suitable explanation. Just like that. Can I? How is this bottle not connected to Phoenix Red as the murderer? And connects it to him? Yeah. Just like what? Why would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to... I don't know, you grab it anyway. Fuck it. Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only legitimate one. Is there really another? Take another look at the court record. I believe you'll find the simple answer there, in plain sight. How about you just say the answer in plain words? That's not how this works. You have to figure it out yourself. Sorry.
It would be hasty to deliver a verdict with unanswered questions indeed. Well, Mr. Justice.
Mr. Gavin said that the court and his case demand an explanation. Don't worry. Justice won't leave until justice is done. Is that why you name yourself Justice?
Perhaps the defense would care to enlighten the court. What evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints on the bottle were upside down?
I told you that. He was looking for the thing.
This tape.
I mean, you could grab it like that. Maybe because he was turned back. And the bottle right here. Well, maybe he planted the bottle. Doesn't need to be there. My guess is something in this photo. Or it's the positioning of the bottle when he was turned around. Because if it... No, if it was there, if he would have... He could have moved it after. Have I ever examined this? Smooch up a blood marks the front of the card. Something else on this card that is important. Ah, this is Japan. Huh. This is Japan on the card. Wow. Did he even use a bottle as the murder weapon? There's no blood on it. I mean, you could obviously explain away. Obviously, he wiped the blood off the thing. But then you could be like, well, he wiped off his fingerprints from the bottle. I don't know. Like I said, my idea was that the bottle just didn't break. There's no glass pieces everywhere. That thing hit him hard. But I mean, maybe it did. Maybe it just did not break. Like, I think it would have broken, but eh. I can't just present the bottle again. I need to present a different angle to the case. Is that the same grape? Didn't he say something like it was different? How long has it been since I drank grape juice? I wonder how well it goes down with borscht. This bottle has a lid on it. The one in the photo does not. Oh, the lid is visible. Oh, look at that. That one's... Did they put the cork in? That's the only explanation I can think of. Either photo may help. Really. Or this one. There's a bunch of bottles with the cork. I mean, but even then, it's like... We would have taken it off after? They put it on back after? He just grabbed it that way. You could grab the bottle. And it's Phoenix's fingerprints. That is... Mr. Wright's prints are on it, upside down. Wait. Looking at something real quick. No, I thought maybe they like turned the label out, like you just got rid of the label for some weird reason. Maybe it's this one. Honest, it's actually hard to tell. My ideas of presenting the evidence obviously are with other parts of the bottle in photos, such as here, here, or here. That's how you would turn it upside down. But the whole thing with no cap of the bottle is messing with me. Got 1, 2, and 3. I want to go with this one, I guess, first. We could try. Let's give it a shot. It's actually easier to show you than explain, Your Honor. Place the bottle on the floor next to your chair. Excuse me, on the floor? Yes, now reach down and pick it up without getting out of your chair. Ah! See? You naturally go to pick up the bottle by its neck. With your fingers upside down. Boom. Look at this photograph taken on the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing piano, bottles of grape juice on the floor to the side of his piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottles upside down several times. Wow, I can't believe it was that simple. We call our dinner that evening, Christoph. I was drinking my usual juice then too. Basically, you use the bottle on the table to do the deed. And then you must have remembered. So you went and picked up one of the bottles from under the piano, and you switched the bottles. You took out one of Mr. Wright's bottles and made it look like the murder weapon.
Order! 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 What do you have to say in these charges, Mr. Gavin?
Fascinating. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection. What? You claim that I switched the bottle. Where is your proof? Proof? Well, that's I thought. More baseless conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty. Objection! I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor, when you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier, do you recall I requested an additional investigation?
Oh, yes, I have your memo about that here.
Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Borscht Bowl Club. And here's one of the bottles in question. Huh. What are you going to dust that for fingerprints too? I would be surprised if any were on that but his. Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake, true. That bottle won't bear a trace of anything. Say, Apollo? Yes! Why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle? But why? Just humor me. Mr. Wright, that bottle will solve this case, once and for all. What? That's some bottle. There it is. There's something inside the bottle. Ta-da! What's this? That's cod. It can't be. Recall the unpleasant woman's testimony for a moment. Miss Olga O'Reilly? Yes, our little swindling devotchka. That night I planted the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost that last hand just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him, but the planted trap card was gone. The trap failed. Wait, this isn't... You're telling me that this is the planted card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in this piece of testimony. I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. Yeah, so I snuck a peek at it and found it was a 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Disposed where?
It was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I drew the card inside the bottle. The 5 of hearts. This is the card. The bottles were swapped. And the only one who could have done it, that was the 4th person in the club that night. You, Mr. Christoph Gavin! It's levitating! What? Why is it levitating so much? That is all. Why, dude? Why'd you kill this dude? Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright?
Revenge?
Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago. My past is like my logic, straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. Fun! I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete, right? This is insane! What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone? Well, technically you lost, so...
I believe this time we've finally come to the end of our trial. Mr. Payne, do you have a report for us on Christoph Gavin?
He's admitted everything. We're processing his arrest now.
I see. Still, one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he?
None that we know of.
Mr. Wright, have you anything to add?
I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on the matter. What a mysterious ending to the case. Why did he do this?
About this victim, Mr. Shady Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler. An odd profession to be sure, and that's all we know about him.
I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor.
Good. Mr. Wright.
Yes?
7 years and you still haven't lost your touch.
Christoph Gavin. This man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer.
He was extremely talented, to be sure.
I needed two things before I could confront him. The first was a place where no injustice would be tolerated. This courtroom. The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo.
Me?
This is a dark time for our legal system. A twisting of justice brought on by our very own initial trial system. We have to set it right. Mr. Wright. Our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it.
Well, it seems as good a time to announce a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright,
not guilty! Yay! Confetti! The confetti's back. Woo!
We did it.
Court is adjourned.
Defendant lobby number 3. April 20th. Oh god, I just realized it's all on 420. Thanks, Apollo. You came true, just like I thought you would. I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. It was you who cornered Mr. Gaff, the killer. I couldn't have done it myself. You sensed it too today, didn't you? Your ability. Ability? Yes. A sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough. Wait, I wonder if he means... I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? Of course it is true. Weird vibe I'm getting. What was that, Mr. Wright? You'll have to find the answer to that question yourself. The answer, right. Today was full of questions without answers. Most of them about Mr. Gavin. What possible reason could he have to commit a murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in the days to come. Huh? Wait, you don't know, do you? This locket is the key. Huh? Oh, that reminds me, I met the girl whose picture is in your locket. Yeah, she is. Your daughter, right? That's right. She's my daughter. You know, you were right about this locket. Eh? I took this off his neck the night he died. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to him.
Wait, but that's perjury!
You testified. You said that locket was yours. I said no such thing, actually. Huh? I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. Bro, this motherfucker's committing perjury. A subtle distinction, but it's a distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth. Wait, but then why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter inside it? You put it in there. Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time. You're still just getting started with your career. Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices after all. I still can't believe I saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs. Apollo? Yes? How about coming to work for me? You mean at the Writing Co. law offices? Hey, Writing Co. law offices, baby! I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know it. That doesn't know it! I can't imagine that to be true, but... Wait, but didn't you... You're not a... Oh, I turned in my badge, yes. I'm not an attorney anymore. That incident 7 years ago. That legendary trial. And at the middle of it all was one man. Phoenix Wright. The case reached its sad conclusion and he left law for good. Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts? I'm not qualified to stand in the court of law, I'm afraid. Did you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forged evidence. The card? Forged evidence? What are you talking about? I'm talking about about evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick. One piece of evidence struck me as odd, it's true. It just seemed, well, too perfect. I bet this was the piece of evidence. You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright. Yes, my card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left. Yeah, I assumed he would have. I was wondering why he didn't. Leaving the wrong card in its place. Luckily for us. It's a fraud. Yeah, I would think only the person who could claim it's a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago. Then, you really... Yes, I forged this card. One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real. But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney! He's not an attorney. He's calling himself an attorney, Apollo. So it's true. The rumor is true. 7 years ago. None of that matters now, does it? Is he angry at him? Is he beating him up? I punched him. Oh, man. Oh, it's slightly understandable. It's your story from here on up, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office's address. Drop in if you'd like. Mr. Wright. Oh, about your uppercut. Try yelling, "Take that!" next time I find it packs a little more punch. And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time. I mean, Apollo are not on good terms when he just revealed that big, thing. And with that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved. And at the time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day, connected by a single thread of logic. I'd find that out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, Attorney at Law. And this is how my story begins. Wow, what a crazy ass first case. Holy shit. Oh my god, that was 3 hours and 9 minutes. Oh, that's actually almost 4 hours. Goodness. I could probably keep going. I could maybe... What do you think, chat? Should I continue? Or should I just end it for today? Because if I continue, the next time I'd probably play this is either Friday or Saturday. Ugh. Has that ever uploaded? Yeah, I uploaded like 4 hours ago. Yeah. Probably right about that, huh? then that's true. You're right. I was thinking of that because there's like a lot of. It's not a game menu. Yeah, I was thinking that because there is a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, so there's Crystal. He looks weirder now. Let's not talk about that right now. That or it's his brother or something. I don't know. Don't tell me. Yeah, it's a good thing I started early. Gotta work on battle pass, whatever. With that, that's it then. We did it. We did the first trial. I was expecting the first one to be shorter than this, like how the first Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright was pretty short, but no, that turned out to be actually a long and involved trial, and a lot of crazy stuff happened. And the next episode is the Sky. Emma Sky's in there. That's nice. And it seems that Trudy will probably be our Maya. I'm not sure, but I'm excited to go about the investigation portions. Yeah, so far it was really cool. Very good first case. Very topsy-turvy. With Phoenix not being afraid to be like, yeah, no, I'll forge evidence. I'm not a lawyer anymore. I can do whatever the fuck I want. As long as I don't go to jail. That's how you win court cases. But, he at least found out the truth. That's what Phoenix is always all about. That is it. I